My name is Derek Katongo, the Sales Projects Officer for Horizon Properties. We're coming to you from our Kablonga offices, which is located along the Chido Road, just by Old Kablonga Shopping Center at shop number 8. Remember, Horizon Properties only has 3 offices within Lusaka. We have our head office in Woodlands, just along the same road, which is Chido Road, just right opposite Woodlands A Primary School. We also have offices within town, just on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. Are you a client that you have come across a property that someone told you to say this property is being sold by Horizon Properties, yet you are taken to a different location? We're here to confirm that it's either you come to our Kablonga offices, which is around Chido Road at Old Kablonga Shopping Center at shop number 8, or you come to our...
I'm your host, Nono Zaza. Now tonight on the show, we want to focus on how young Zambians can start investing in property early. But before we get into tonight's topic, here is a notice to all clients that have bought land from Horizon Properties. Now, Horizon Properties Limited are committed to delivering faster services efficiently and effectively to all their customers, and they're pledged to place integrity, honesty and diligence at the heart of their service delivery. However, they advise their customers that the obligation to protect your interests in the purchased properties is solely upon you. They wish to strongly advise that you exercise the following simple due diligence measures to secure your property. Ensure that the property is first off at its boundaries to prevent squatters, trespassers, illegal entry or encroachment by third parties. Inspect the property from time to time, stay up to date on any suspicious developments on the ground. Assign a responsible diligent caretaker or overseer, preferably one who is a member of the local community, to keep a lookout on the property if you do not intend to commence development immediately. Always consult a registered surveyor or Horizon Properties officers to assist in vehicle sitting and boundary verification whenever unsure. Consult a registered surveyor to assist with site beacons and verify boundaries before you commence development on your property. And ensure that you obtain the requisite statutory approvals before commencement of development works. Now, Horizon Properties will not bear responsibility or liability for any squatters, trespassers, illegal entry or encroachment on a property by third parties beyond the conclusion of the sales transaction. They therefore advise all their customers to exercise and apply the above measures as much as possible to avoid being inconvenienced. We now listen to a presentation by Dr. Sokyo Pindi, CEO from Horizon Properties.
Good evening, listeners. Welcome to Listening Property Focus, a program brought to you by Horizon Properties, your local expert with a global reach, member of the leading real companies of the world. Last time we were here. Last Tuesday, we were talking about the beauty of investing in land and its benefits and advantages. I mentioned that land is an asset that is tangible. Land cannot be destroyed, easily destroyed. Apart from ground rent, there are no any other fees you're paying and giving you a peace of mind. Land is reasonably affordable in Zambia, and on the other hand, land appreciates on daily basis. Look at the factors of increasing population and the population and the rate of urbanization depending where your land is, and also there's no any more land to be created. Therefore, the demand will keep increasing as the population increases. This also involves different kind of development that occur in different areas where land is located. Your land can either appreciate within a day, or within a period of time, short period of time, your land can appreciate to give you a return that you never expected and can change your life just round. Having said that, this evening I would like to highlight to you some of the factors, some of the main factors that affect the housing market. We all here, we look forward to having a house or having houses, generate income, or housing as a shelter for the family. Housing is very, very critical, and also is also emphasized in the 8th National Development Plan, which has got the 4 pillars, but it is also very much emphasized the affordable housing, decent affordable housing. So real estate markets in Zambia is very well structured and developed like in many other developed economies. In most cases, it's very difficult to understand. They seem to have limited options for real estate investment. While in versatile real estate economy environments, there are several real estate investment options. Although we are seeing an improvement where we are registering the real estate investment trusts at SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, recently registered real estate trust, investment trust. These are companies that are registered where we individuals, companies invest collectively, and they get a return out of the rentals in that way. That is happening, though at a slow pace. As a real estate investor, whether you're just starting or an experienced one, it is important to understand the factors that affect the real estate market. Some of the factors that affect the market: economic growth, interest rates, demographics, unemployment, disposable incomes, government policies and laws, and also the supply of housing units. These are some of the major factors that affect the real estate market with respect to housing. I'll start by looking at the economic growth. Another key factor one of the key factors that affect the value of real estate is the overall health of the economy. This is generally measured by economic indicators such as the GDP, employment data, manufacturing activity, prices of goods and services, and so on. But broadly speaking, when the economy is sluggish, the real estate sector also is sluggish. However, the cyclic nature of economies have got varied factors on different types of real estate. For example, if a real estate investor has a large percentage of its investment in hotels, it will typically be more affected in case there is a downturn. Hotels are very sensitive and they can easily be affected by a downturn than real estate investors who invested in office buildings. Hotels are a form of lease or property that is very sensitive to economic activity due to the type of lease structure inherent in the business. Renting a hotel room can be thought of as a form of short-term lease that can easily be avoided by hotel customers should there be economic difficulties. On the other hand, office tenants generally have longer-term leases that cannot be changed in the middle of an economic downturn, unless there's a pandemic like that we experienced. They are now, it's quite inevitable, that's an act of God. It's inevitable that the landlords must adjust to the devastation or the currency. That's though you should be aware that part of the cycle, you should be aware as an investor, you should know which part of the cycle, of the economic cycle are we in. You should be cognizant of the real estate property sensitivity to that cycle, because the economy is a cycle, is up and down. So you need to know at where is this cycle, where the economy in terms of cyclic nature, so that you're able to adjust and understand or regulate your investment, depending, knowing when is the economy going to rebound. So economic growth is a very important factor that can affect the value and return investment in real estate. The other factor is unemployment. Unemployment is a very serious factor to do with housing, because when the unemployment is rising, fewer people are able to afford a house, and therefore, of course, if you're unable to buy the houses, so the market now is slowing down, because the high rate of unemployment, people are unable to have money to invest in houses. The other factor is interest rates. Interest rates. Although the economy, our economy is structured, it is not really structured in a way that the financial sector will support housing through lending, because the interest rates are variable in the market. They are unable to support adequately the housing subsector. When they are effective and structured in a way that we have financial institutions that can support housing, interest rates affect the cost of monthly mortgage payments. A period of high interest rates will increase the cost of mortgage payments and will cause a lower demand for buying houses. High interest rates make the renting relatively more attractive compared to buying. You better keep on renting than incurring the cost of mortgages and monthly mortgages rates. You can continue sustaining your rent. Therefore, high interest rates promote renting, and meaning that the housing subsector is not growing. Interest rates have a bigger effect if homeowners have a large variable mortgages. In Zambia, the interest rates for mortgages by many financiers are quite high and affordable by many. High interest rates make the mortgage market unattractive, like in Zambia. The mortgage market in Zambia is quite very small because of the high interest rates. So the mortgage market is very unattractive because of the high interest rates. It simply means that there will be very few individuals interested in buying houses from the risk market by way of mortgages. So interest rates, that's how they affect the housing market in general. But I've made a connotation to say that we have a special kind of situation in Zambia where the structure of the economy, the financial sector is not structured to financing housing development, because it is long term. Housing development is long term. So we have very few, if any, financial institutions that can sustain the long term financing. The other factor to look at here is the supply of housing units. It is all related to the financing. The high cost of capital for many institutions has hindered the increase in the supply of housing units on the real estate market. And that's why the housing deficit is increasing day by day. The supply of housing units has caused the demand that has been pushing the cost of houses. Now, I'd like to make a clarification here. Currently, the cost of housing is high and very few buyers, especially on the higher end. The vendors of the suppliers or sellers of houses are not reducing the cost of the houses. Reason, these houses are not, they are not financed. So they will rather wait as long as it takes to get what they want. So, and there are some houses that have been in the market for 2 years, 3 years, but they are not reducing. So in other words, the house market is not responding to the economic situation in Zambia because of what I just mentioned. The other factor that you need to observe as a real estate investor, whether you are learning, whether you are an amateur or experienced, is disposable income. This is also related, this also works well related to the interest rates and unemployment. How much an individual will spend on the purchase of a house or plot depends on the disposable income available. This is after taking into account all the monthly expenditure and in consideration of how much can be spent on the purchase of the house or rather mortgage, if at all it's a mortgage. So this is the factor, because ordinarily it's you could not spend on a house more than 30%, but with the inflation and the devaluation of the kwacha and other factors, these estimates they are no longer standing. The other factor that that has been usually ignored is demographics. Demographics are the data that describe the composition of the population, such as age, race, gender, income, migration patterns, and population growth. These statistics are often overlooked by significant factors that affect the real estate, how it affects how the real estate is priced, and what type of properties are on demand. It's important to know that major shifts in the demographics of a nation can have a large impact on real estate trends for several decades. For example, in Zambia, the large population is composed of the youth, and therefore, as youth practitioners, what are we thinking? And what are we advising the public and the middle class regarding this huge percentage of the market that needs to be serviced? What can the youth afford? And where are you putting investment? Currently, in the past 3 years, 4 years, the upper end subsector of the real estate was oversupplied. Now, you find a lot of high-end complexes. For example, I've got specifics. Suppose you have nine apartments, but for the whole year, only 4 occupied. So it's very important to also to understand how the markets, how the population, who are you targeting? Who this housing development you're embarking on, who are you targeting? And for how long is this going to be sustainable to be having tenants in those apartments? And the other factor that we observe as real investors and practitioners is, what is the government saying? What are the regulations? What are their policies? What are the laws? Taxation. So we need to observe. When the budget is pronounced, we look out to see what are they saying about housing. What are the taxes? Are they including the taxes? Is there any incentives? And how do we harness what is in the budget? Government legislation is another important factor that can impact on housing demand and prices. Being aware of the kind of policies helps to understand the direction the housing market will be heading and ultimately the pricing. For example, if the government sets up a fund to fund housing units for civil servants at low interest rates, this action by government will affect the housing market in many ways, because now the private sector will have now who access funding at high interest rates, they will be affected because now the market is going to shift. There will be a shift in the market because now all the clients for civil service will move to that facility. So these are very important to be focusing and also observing what the government is saying, what laws they have implemented, what are their intentions. In most cases, when we observe it's something which the government is trying to implement, we come in and try to put reason from a practitioner point of view and put reason to those policies. In most cases, they listen because their interest is to grow the risk market. Because it's very important. Also, the investor is interested in knowing how long will they hold on to their investment as well as how to exit. Because some of the policies can affect your exit from the market because there's an entry and exit. Because you may want to exit. Are you able to exit? Because there's some laws in different countries that make it very difficult for you to exit. So you hold the property investment in that country. So listeners, these are some of the factors you need to look out for as a real estate investor, and they are very, very critical as you move on with your general investment. We'll continue to navigate through this arena of real estate and its investment and transactions.
Horizon Properties, the real property merchants, offers proficient, time-tested real estate services to all property buyers and sellers. Are you selling or letting? Looking to buy or lease property? We sell and let residential, commercial, and industrial properties, farms, and small holdings throughout the country. Our pride is in offering tailor-made services to meet the unique needs of each client, coupled with innovative, effective marketing tactics for each property. Before you buy a plot of farmland, check if Horizon Properties doesn't have it at a cheaper price. Come and experience the proficiency that makes Horizon Properties stand out from the rest. Tried and trusted to deliver to its customers' expectations. We have offices in the following locations: Woodlands Head Office, in Kablonga, on the alley behind the Saka Hotel. Horizon Properties, the real property merchants.
You're still listening to Property Focus, brought to you of Horizon Properties. Now joining me in the studio this evening, I have none other than Bewe Arjun, who is a Sales and Listings Coordinator, and we also have Jay Katongo, who is the Sales and Projects Officer. Good evening and welcome to the show again.
Good evening, London. Thank you so much for having us.
It's good to have you here. Your quick reaction to the doctor's presentation.
The doctor's presentation tonight is quite insightful, as it highlights the number of areas that you have to look into if you are someone who's just starting to invest in real estate, or even an experienced person who's been investing in real estate for some time. In many times I know a lot of people would just buy property here and there without taking into account what doctor is putting out tonight, and these are mistakes that people keep making, and mistakes that you can't see now, but with time there are properties that instead of maybe getting rental 20 plus, but then 1.5. So those are the issues. There were certain things where actually not considered as you were putting up that investment. So for you not to be a victim to such, or maybe to find yourself in those situations, the best you can do, if you're listening to us or someone who's joined the presentation midway and you want to get more information with regards to what he presented on and what we are going to present on the show tonight, the best you can do is send us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com. Send an email and ask for information. Don't be shy. Don't watch from the terraces. Make that move and send us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com asking questions, or even contribute to the topic, or just share your experience with exactly what Doc is trying to present on, or what we are going to present on tonight, and we would gladly attend to that.
All right. We're going to quickly get to the headlines. We will continue with Property Focus this station.
Feel the heat. specialist.
Town office, which is along Katondo Street on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. Or if you want to access anything to do with construction services, we do have offices within Woodlands just along Chido Road. Hi, my name is Derek Katong, the Sales Projects Officer for Horizon Properties. We're coming to you from our Kablonga offices, which is located along the Chido Road, just by Old Kablonga Shopping Center at shop number 8. Remember, Horizon Properties only has 3 offices within Lusaka. We have our head office in Woodlands, just along the same road, which is Chido Road, just right opposite Woodlands A Primary School. We also have offices within town, just on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. Are you a client that you have come across a property that someone told you to say this property is being sold by Horizon Properties, yet you are taken to a different location? We're here to confirm that it's either you come to our Kablonga offices, which is along Chido Road at Old Kablonga Shopping Center at shop number 8, or you come to our town office, which is along Katondo Street on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. Or if you want to access anything to do with construction services, we do have offices within Woodlands just along Chido Road.
Our town office 0211 226902. Horizon Properties, the real property.
Welcome back. You are listening to Property Focus, brought you courtesy of Horizon Properties. Now, Adrian as well as Derek, I'd like obviously an emphasis when we hear the term building a legacy through property investment. What does that ring in your ears when someone uses that term?
That's a very good question. Because I know a number of times I think we've discussed property, we've talked about legacy and loyalty promotion, and much more. But this important aspect of real estate is what most is not discussed. Because you would hear people say, no, and some areas have been named after certain people because of maybe the many houses that they have, which we've had. And so many examples which we can give, but the issue is, what do we mean by this term? So building a legacy means creating a lasting impact and wealth for yourself and future generations through strategic investments in real estate. So when we talk of creating a lasting impact and wealth for yourself and future generations, we don't just speak to buying properties anyhow. I think as I was reacting to Doctor's presentation, I gave an example of people that have built very beautiful properties, invested millions in putting up a house in areas which, if they were to sell, they wouldn't even get back the money that they spent on. That's not what we're trying to talk about. What we're trying to refer to here is strategic investments. And when you speak to these strategic investments, we're also speaking to quality and genuineness. Because you may put up a very good, let's say maybe investment, or maybe buy a very good house in a very good location. But what's the quality of the building that you are buying? Because the certain buildings that we've seen around, and I know maybe you've heard of or maybe you even know, to say the building is good, but in most times people spend all their time just doing repairs and all that. When the restaurant comes, the building floods and all that. There are all those issues that we failed. So what we talk about here also speaks to quality and genuineness. Others spend a lot of time in buying properties and they have a very good term but properties pressure the issue is pressure that you want to buy, and those properties genuine. So it speaks to quality, it speaks to genuineness, and then it also speaks to ownership. Are you able to prove ownership for those particular properties that you say you have? Yes, verbally you may have, let's say maybe 20 properties, let's say in Kablonga, and that particular area, reason you have a number of properties there. But the bigger question is, are you able to prove to say you own those properties? Or do you own those properties? Do you have documentation to show to say you own those properties? So we're speaking to quality, genuineness, and then ownership as well. And to break it down further, when we talk of building a lasting legacy in terms of real estate investment, we're also speaking to properties like Doctor was saying in the presentations that can help you generate passive income through rental properties. Because if these investments are strategic and they're there to help you or create passive income for you, are you able to get something out of these properties? If it's a house that you put up where you're not staying, what is it giving you at the end of the day? Is this house able to appreciate or maybe generate value for you? Let's say maybe 2 years from now, are you able to go back to that house and say, no, I'm going to sell this house and maybe get 3 times what I invested? Those are strategic investments that we're talking about. And it also brings us back to the presentation that our CEO was trying to put up, where you get to look at certain areas or maybe aspects of investments as you choose to invest. Because yes, you may say, no, I've got 20, 50 houses, but what's the worth of those houses? Because if you're investing certain amounts of money, definitely you need to reap, because it's a business. And then if we talk of the legacy, building a legacy in terms of real estate investments, we're also talking of building wealth and financial security. Because so many times I think there's been debates online of who is the richest man in the world. We've heard of these debates on Facebook, or especially the time that we were growing up, those were big issues. We want to know who has the most money in the world. But now that we've grown up, we're also able to hear to say most of these monies that people talk about of how much someone is worth is in assets. What have you done yourself? How are you invested your money? Because you can't have all those billions that people talk about in the bank. Definitely it has to be somewhere where if you need money, you're able to sell and get some cash. So these are things that we talk about. How are your decisions in terms of investment in real estate? And then we're also talking about leaving a lasting legacy for family or community. Because if I'm saying I've built a legacy in real estate, if I'm not there tomorrow, what will people talk about? Will those investments that I'm making be of value to those that will remain once I'm not there? So those are the decisions that you need to look at as you actually get to do these investments. Because you cannot be someone who's always buying land in operation. All the time, for you to access your land, you have to insult someone somewhere. You know, we've heard all these stories, and people just enjoy that because this one is doing that. What are you doing for yourself? The question is that, do you own those properties? Can you be proud and say, no, this is what I have about those same investments that you're making here fast? So these are the issues that we keep talking about, and this is what we mean when we are talking about building a legacy in real estate investment. It is about making informed investment decisions to achieve long-term financial goals and create a lasting impact. So what you decide, if I choose to say I'm going to get 50p today and buy a plot, let's say maybe Kamungole, the issue is in the long run, what am I going to get from this? In terms of value, is this likely to appreciate? If tomorrow, let's say maybe we have the pressure and I want to sell it, am I able to get some profit out of it? Because money pushed in an investment, of course, it's like a bank. Like our CEO has always mentioned on the show. It's like a bank. You're investing so that you can reap someday. Just like you plant maize in the ground so that you can harvest someday. This is what we mean when we talk of building a real estate legacy in terms of real estate investments.
And just in addition, I think I concur with everything that Adrian has mentioned. But I think another point that people should not forget to consider, especially if they are going to be building a legacy through a property investment, I think also it's cardinal to look at the agencies that you're dealing with, okay? Because we understand, I'll speak from Horizon Properties perspective, okay? The main reason why a lot of people feel safe and feel secure to deal with Horizon Properties, it's because we understand our products better, okay? We understand and we invest continuously into the products that we sell, and also to broaden the knowledge base that each and every agent that goes out there to represent a company, what they're capable of doing, and also what they're able to advise the clients. Because if you're going to meet someone that is looking forward to buy a property for investment, okay, the first thing that we're going to ask you when you come to Horizon Properties is, what sort of a property are you looking for? Okay, what activities do you want to embark on that particular property? Okay, because we understand that these properties that we sell, they're properties that you can actually just turn around and do whatever you want to do. Okay, you can buy a house, you can easily turn it into an office and people start renting. You can buy a farm, you can easily turn it into, maybe you begin to grow things that you can just easily sell by the roadside. Okay, so when you come to Horizon Properties, we understand that the people that you're going to deal with from Horizon Properties, they have got enough knowledge that you need, okay, for you to make an informed decision and be able to be directed to a property that will be ideal for you for your future investment, okay? Because like Adrian said, it's not just about owning properties everywhere. It's about what is the worth of those properties that you own. Okay, it's not about, no, okay, I've got a house here, I've got another plot there. But the question is, are you investing rightly? Are you actually making decisions which would dictate where the market is going to? Okay, but when you come to Horizon Properties, we'll be able to advise you. Okay, we can tell you to say, don't invest your money in this particular location. Consider this location because this is where the market is going and this is where the value is going. Why? Because we understand the market so well. We understand that those that are doing it for their future investment, or even for the future generation of their kids and things like that, they really need to deal with companies that understand the market, that can help them to make right decisions in terms of where to invest, what to invest in, and what sort of products should they look forward to for them to actually make an impact in the nearest future. Because I'll give you an example. There were people that were coming to invest in the Green Village. When we're at the point of selling plots that are like 20 by 22.5 at 33 Southern Quarter. And when they came there, it was just totally a bush. There were others that could not see the future of that project. They could not buy. Others ended up just coming back and they started looking elsewhere. But people that bought into the vision that we had and really saw what we're trying to do, they bought. And we're talking about maybe 2 years, 3 years down the line on a plot that was worth 33,000 kwacha, today selling at 120. Okay, of which we even challenge people to say, if you are to get that 33,000 and put it into a bank, are you telling us that 2 years down the line with interest, that money could grow from 33 to 120? No.
Highly unlikely. Maybe
Yes.
you've been lucky to even get
Yes, so
35.
what the bottom line that we're trying to explain now is that people should learn to deal with agencies that will actually have an impact on the decision that they're making. It's not just about having money, but it's also having people that can be able to help you to make the right decision. And Horizon Properties is such an entity that would help you to buy a property in an area that you can never regret in the near future.
Yeah, and not to boast, but just to put emphasis to what he said. So many developments, of course, happening around, and so many projects people are doing, land developments, housing developments here and there. But the question is, how genuine are those developers and land developers who are busy putting up these projects? I think you also need to come to a point whereby, as you choose to create this legacy, buy from the genuine sellers, just like Derek is saying. The stories are there to tell. The people that have come to points where they promised people heaven on earth in terms of these projects that they run. But where are those projects today?
White elephants.
Yes. Despite others being white elephants, others ended up selling plots that don't exist. The stories are there in the papers and everywhere on Facebook. So this is the legacy that we talk about. Horizon Properties, of course, is a company that has the legacy. We have sold plots around Lusaka, places like when you go to Airstrip, you go to Waterfalls, you go to the Green Village itself, you go to the Great North Road. So many projects that we've done that are there to tell the story. And people that have bought there are there, they're bidding, they have all their documents and everything, and people are happy because they have a place that they can go home. So don't just buy land around and buy properties around. Buy from people that are genuine.
Okay. Now, what role is Horizon Properties playing in helping young people move from aspiring to owning land, which I know is very rare because young people are not really thinking about the future that much? And what offerings or products can you recommend that listeners out there can actually take advantage as we speak right now?
Okay, we have a lot of mechanisms now in place that we have put at Horizon Properties to make sure that we appeal to the young people, for them to make right decisions at the right time, and also just for them to grow their investments whilst they are still young. Okay, and one of the factors that we have actually put forward is that those young people that are in the corporate world, at Horizon Properties, there's what we call the corporate packages. Okay, we have got different institutions that we have MOUs with, and these institutions have come on board to actually lobby for their employees to acquire land from Horizon Properties, and they are being given quite longer payment plans, unlike those that we have on the open market. Okay, because if you come to Horizon Properties today, you may want a plot in Green Village, for example. We'll tell you to say, okay, pay 50%, we'll give you maybe 6 months for you to finish up the balance. But under the corporate packages that we have, with different institutions that have come on board, you can actually go as far as 24 months you are paying for that particular plot. Okay? So those young people that are listening to us, and you know that you belong to a certain institution, you work for a certain institution, this is an opportunity for you to actually avail this information to management. Tell them to say, Horizon Properties has corporate packages in place. These corporate packages are actually ideal, and they're tailor-made to suit institutions. Okay? You may be getting a 5,000, you may be getting maybe 6,000, for example, as your salary. But if you come to Horizon Properties under your institution, you can actually manage to purchase a plot with that salary, because you realize that we're going to give you a longer payment plan for you to pay. Okay, so that is one way that we have actually appealed to the young people, that you should not look at the amount that you get as your pay every month. You should look at what kind of opportunities can Horizon Properties provide to you as someone that is working for an institution, so that you can be able to earn land. Okay, so those packages are actually active, and those that are listening to us, please come through and be able to be a part and parcel of this particular package that I'm talking about, because this package actually has helped a lot of people from different institutions, those that have come on board and those that are yet to come on board, because we understand that this package speaks to the flexibility that a lot of people look forward to. Okay, because we understand that a lot of people can actually manage to acquire land through their salaries. You don't need to go and get a loan for you to come and buy a property at Horizon Properties. You can take advantage of these packages that we're talking about through the institution which you are working for. Okay, and that is the best that the institution can do for its employees. Because if you're going to have employees that are able to invest into land through the works that they're doing for the particular organization. It means you are equally also helping them to stabilize. Okay? These are people that are going to be stable, and they will know to say, I need to work and finish up paying for my piece of land. Okay? So that is one way. No. Another way that we are appealing to the young people for them to come on board and be able to buy products from Horizon Properties as a way of us encouraging them not just to aspire but owning actual land is the kind of products that we put on the market. No, if you realize right now, as Horizon Properties, we are not a company that just appeals to the upper class. Okay, we appeal to the upper class because we do have properties that the upper class can get from Horizon Properties, but we also have properties that are suitable for the middle class. Okay, so if you are within the middle class, you can come to Horizon Properties. You still find a property that is fit within your budget. But again, we also have properties on the lower end. Okay, you can belong to the lower class. It does not mean that Horizon Properties may not have something that is ideal that would fit within your budget. When you come to Horizon Properties, we have a wide range of products. We do not actually subscribe to the idea of us is just the high-end properties that we can only offer. No, we understand that we are on this market to provide a service. So a service includes even people that are coming from the lower class. So if you are listening to us, you feel you are getting minimum amounts of salaries, come to Horizon Properties. We're going to take you to products that would be able to fit within your budget. I'll give an example. We've got plots like in Stumbeko, 50 by 50 going at 18,000 only, and you have a payment plan. Okay, a 50 by 50 plot. So
On title.
actually on title. So that speaks to what we're trying to put forward. That even if you belong to the lower class, the middle class, the upper class, come to Horizon Properties, because we are here to provide a service, and we are here to help people actually get access to affordable land, get access to affordable housing. So if you are looking for a house, you are looking for a plot, you are looking for a farm, come to Horizon Properties. Whatever you want, we'll ask you, what is your budget? You tell us your budget, we'll know what to give you, because we understand that we have what it takes for us to provide what would fit within your budget. Okay, so that is a deliberate move. It's not just us as business as usual. No, that is a deliberate move for us to help the young people, those that would be dreaming to be farmers, but yet they are thinking they are getting, their salaries may not be enough for them to get a farm. I think Adrian can mention some farms that we have that would still perfectly fit within the budget of the young people that would want to be farmers in the near future.
Yeah, you can even start from the same studio that you said of the 50 by 50 plots. You can get a 1 acre plot which is on title at 38,000 kwacha. You can move to Chinyunyu and get 5 acres of land, which is at of course 50,000 kwacha. And despite the products that the affordability and everything that Derek of course explained, we also spend time to give out information. I think so many times on the show, in the papers, on our Facebook pages, and everywhere else, at any given point, when we find the time, we always take time to inform the masses of what they need to do before they buy properties, how they can, of course, maintain those properties. I know that there's been presentations here, and also how they can just get to do their due diligence and the different types of investment that they can do. And we've gone ahead again to secure properties in several parts of Lusaka, several parts of Zambia, so that each and every person coming through our doors has something that meets their needs. So this is a deliberate move, like Derek said, and despite this deliberate move, we have also gone ahead to tailor-make our services. Almost each and every person at Horizon Properties is mobile. Call them right now, tell them the property that I'm selling, let's say maybe in Mumbo. They will tell you terms and conditions, of course, apply, but they will move to save you. I, for one, and we've had times where we've actually followed certain people to their residences because they want a specific service. They want to understand our services from the comfort of their homes. We've moved our offices to their places, sat down to discuss everything in property, and they've ended up listing. We've listed those properties and we've sold for them and we've paid them. So this is exactly what we mean by tailoring our services. We're not just confined to our offices to say, no, you just come to Kablonga and find us. If you don't come to Kablonga, then we cannot sell your property. We don't do that. If you call me even right now, no, about the property that I want to sell, in let's say maybe in Kablonga or where, if I can't move, someone else who's near you will move and see that particular property so that we can actually get to save you better. So you also asked about the products that people can actually get to take advantage of.
Yes.
So let me get to that because we have a lot. So despite what I'm mentioning right now, we have a lot of products which you can take advantage of. And I would advise the listeners out there, of course, to follow our Facebook page, which is Horizon Properties Limited, or Horizon Properties Farmlands page, or Horizon Properties Residential page, or Horizon Green Village Project page. Because there you're going to find a variety of the many products, of course, that we are offering right now. So for sale, we have 22 acres of land in Palavana near the university, and the price per acre is 350,000 kwacha. So this is land on title. And then we also have farms in Chisamba. These are 5 acres located in a developed farming block with very good graded access roads, located 9 kilometers from Matsompora Tarmac, and the land is suitable for any type of farming. Power is already on site. The price is only 100,000 kwacha. So 100,000 kwacha for 5 acres in Chisamba. Then also have 15 acres farmland with an incomplete 1-bedroom cottage located 14 kilometers from Greatest Road and Katende Market. This is in Kalakantapa, and the price is 310,000 kwacha. We also have 5-acre farms in Chamrimba Chongwe, which we are selling at 75,000 kwacha, only 14 kilometers from the third Greatest Road. And then we have commercial land in Chiawa, which is on the riverfront. So this is 125 acres in extent with 650 meters of river frontage, and the price is only 2,500,000 kwacha. So this is commercial land that you've had right on the river, and it's 125 acres in extent for only 2.5 million kwacha. We also have land which is not on the riverfront in Chiawa, 50 acres of prime land, and it's going for 350,000 kwacha, only 29 kilometers from Chepumi town. You could get into Chiawa. They also have 20 acres of farmland with good access road in a developing farm block in Mungore area. The land is ideal for farming. Others are doing residential there. We've seen it a number of times on the show. And this 20 acres is only selling for 280,000 kwacha. We also have 20 by 30 plots in Lilai, which is on title in a secure neighborhood, 400 meters from Lilai Road, branching off shortly after Petroda filling station. This is on Shandumbo Road. So the price is only 385,000 kwacha. We have 5 acres of land on title, 40 kilometers from Crossroads in Mikango, and 1.8 kilometers from Leopards Road. The price is 650,000 kwacha. We also have a 3-bedroom incomplete house sitting on a 20 by 30 plot, 1.9 kilometers from Great East Road and 3 kilometers from Uniras. This is in Silverest. This is on title, and the price is only 950,000 kwacha. Then we also have an incomplete 4-bedroom house sitting on a 20 by 40 plot with power in close proximity. This is in Mungure, and the property is about 3 kilometers from the Mungure Tired Road. The price is only 210,000 kwacha. We are for sale in Kasisi, prime 2.4 acres on title, with power lines already on site, about 12 kilometers from the tarmac. If you know Kasisi very well, branch off before the airport as you are driving there on the left, there's a tarmac that goes to Kasisi Mission. So right where it ends, you proceed about 12 km. Land on title, which is 2.4 acres, the price is 300,000 kwacha. They also have a plot for sale in Njorwe, a 30 by 40 plot on title, located in a developing area about 1.5 kilometers from Leopards Road. This is selling at 160,000 kwacha. We also have a 2 by 2 bedroom incomplete semi-detached flat sitting on a 20 by 25 plot in Chongwe. The property is only 500 meters from Greatest Road, and the price is 350,000 kwacha. In 10 miles, we have a 60 by 40 plot located in a developing area with power lines in close proximity, 1.2 kilometers from Mungure Tired Road. The price is 185,000 kwacha. Last but not the least, we have 7.5 acres land, ideal for various types of farming in Chongwe, 7 kilometers from Greatest Road, and the price is 210,000 kwacha.
Yeah, and no, I think looking at time, and I can tell that Adrian hasn't even exhausted most of the properties that we have. But if you are listening to us and you'd like to get more information pertaining to the properties that Adrian mentioned, and also maybe just for you to know more of the properties that we have, please, we have 3 locations within Lusaka. We have our Kablonga office that is just around Chido Road, just by old Kablonga Shopping Center, a second floor. Then we also have our construction division, which is just along the same road in Woodlands, just right opposite Woodlands Primary School there. Then we also have offices within town. That is, if you are from the other side of town, and maybe it will take a bit of time for you to come to our Kablonga office or Woodlands office. You can actually visit us from our town office, which is just along like Atondo Street, just right behind on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel there. That is our town office, and you can actually get more information about a lot of properties that we have that we are offering.
Okay. Now, Adrian, obviously, as we wrap up our conversation this evening, what are your closing remarks, and what should people look out for?
There is quite a lot that you can look out for from Horizon Properties. Like we said, we're not just limited to selling residential plots. Of course, we sell residential plots. We sell farms. We sell complete houses. In complete houses, we also sell. We also rent out properties, be it commercial, be it residential. We also sell commercial properties. So if you're someone who's looking to buy, you're welcome to contact us on the numbers 0777 002756, or simply go to our pages and get any of the numbers that you find there on those adverts and call us. Or simply come to our offices in Kablonga Town or Woodlands. We're also into construction now. So we're not just limited to just selling, but we also build. So do not be limited to what we talk about on radio. Feel free to get in touch with us and find out whether you are selling or you're looking to buy. So we either sell or we're renting out. But of course, real estate is always business at Horizon Properties, and serious business for that matter. So please do come through and get to talk to us. Don't just listen to us on radio and say, guys, we are data. Come through the offices and actually get to have a one-on-one conversation so that we can understand what you need and we can best advise you. Because certain times, if we don't have a conversation, we may not bring out exactly what you want here on the show. But if you come through, we would understand and advise you so that you can get exactly what you want. For any questions, contributions, comments with regards to everything that we've discussed on the show, please send us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com, and we'll gladly respond to those comments.
All right. Adrian and Derek, Alexa, thanks so much for coming through. It's always a pleasure to have you guys from Horizon Properties.
It's always a pleasure being here, Nona.
Okay. There you have it. That's it for today's episode of Property Focus. Be sure to catch us next week on Tuesday, just after 18:30, right here on Hot FM. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Derek Katong, the Sales Projects Officer for Horizon Properties. We're coming to you from our Kablonga offices, which is located along the Chido Road, just by Old Kablonga Shopping Center at shop number 8. Remember, Horizon Properties only has 3 offices within Lusaka. We have our head office in Woodlands, just along the same road, which is Chido Road, just right opposite Woodlands Primary School. We also have offices within town, just on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. Are you a client that you have come across a property that someone told you to say this property is being sold by Horizon Properties, yet you are taken to a different location? We're here to confirm that it's either you come to our Kablonga offices, which is